All right, ladies and gentlemen, I tried to make a video yesterday, but my hackers are in their feelings, I guess, due to all the Aries energy. So that wasn't working. So I went live and then I drove around the city. So let's see if it works today. All right, if you've been following THORnews for a while, you will know that I consider the Aries energy a big deal. And it's always a big deal. And Aries always brings strife and discord and people fighting and just crazy crap. And so on the 11th, we had Venus pass Aries in a conjunction. And then we have Mercury coming up in a conjunction on the 17th. And then Ceres coming up in an Aries conjunction on the 24th. So the next 11 days are probably going to be wild with everybody fighting and everybody mad about stuff. And also, you have a lot of energy in Aries, which is like war, including the sun. So we are in the last week of Aries. So that is why you were seeing like China flying a record amount of jets over Taiwan. You were seeing Russia and the U.S. squabble. You were seeing Israel go after Iran because it is going to be a very warlike week. So just get ready for that, okay? Right now we have a bit of a situation, a storm that is exploding over Louisiana, Mississippi into Alabama and is going to bring a lot of heavy rain. So stay on top of that. And it's actually my part of town that I drove through. I drove through the city last night for the first time in forever. It felt so good. Thank you, Astro Fight Club. Okay, so, but yeah, we will be under severe weather watch as you'll see this storm extend backwards at some point, I think. So everybody just stay cool and stay aware. And over the next week, the problem areas we know of will be Louisiana, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, and Georgia, as you guys may get a lot of rain and possibly some crazy storms. And I want to say it again, I'm pretty sure California and the Nevada and like y'all are going to have just a wild, in Arizona, wildfire season. And you could possibly see volcano eruptions. And the map looks like summer and winter are still trying to duke it out, which we call spring. But yeah, you're still going to see quite a bit of snow here in April for the middle northwest. And then you're going to see rain as the high pressure pushes everything down towards the south and then back up in the northeast. All right, who wants to talk about volcanoes? The La Soufriere volcano in St. Vincent is still putting on one heck of a show. Our Caribbean erupting volcano is just like the Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going and going and going and going. Iceland's volcano is still doing its thing and popping multiple fissures. And we're still going to be under McDLT weather with the hot side hot and the cool side cool and the wet side wet. Popocatépetl, the volcano in Mexico, is still consistently putting on quite a show for folks, as well as the volcano situation is totally lit. And it being super Aries season with a whole lot of Aries energy, like I said, a record number of China jets entered Taiwan's airspace yesterday. We had a Floridian fireball or meteor. Did it reach the ground and become a meteorite? Who knows? If it did, maybe it was in the ocean. So it's still a meteorite. It's just at the bottom of the ocean. But these are definitely interesting days indeed. Good news. We are back out of solar minimum conditions with the sunspot on the sun, and one that will be turning towards facing Earth and the Earth facing disk in a couple days. So that is great news. The solar flux is at 83 today, well over the projected 70.9 that NASA and NOAA had. Remind y'all, this is probably going to be the 9th month in a row that the sunspot progression and the solar flux predictions of NASA and NOAA are going to be exceeded by larger numbers, much larger numbers. So the chances of us being in a grand solar minimum are like 0. Just letting you know. And the sun has been doing some coronal mass ejections and having a lot of very impressive prominent dances of large filaments. We had multiple B-class solar flares, and this one almost got to be a C-class. And so we had solar minimum at the end of 2019, and solar maximum is supposed to come 5.75 years later. And so we're only like 2 years away from, if even that, the minimum. So we are actually seeing a lot of activity for this early on going towards solar maximum. So that's impressive and crazy. And definitely the filament's been crazy. And like I always say, empires fall or get crappier during solar minimums and rise during solar maximums, especially depending on how strong it is. So it is in everybody's best interest to pray and hope for a very strong solar maximum, which is what I'm doing, and it looks like we may get. But either way, nobody knows what the sun is going to do next. Yeah. Hey, here's one of the dates I was mentioning, April 17th. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 lows lined up in a row. I don't know, it kind of seems like a big deal. Yes, a solar tornado spins off the sun. Yesterday, NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory watched a towering cloud of plasma spin up and off the surface of the sun. The tornado in this movie is 10 times taller than Earth itself. Okay, great. And we had a solar flux rope coronal mass ejection. So that's cool, right? Zip, pip, pop, pow, and bang. So you have multiple solar flares. You have a coronal mass ejection. You've got one front side sunspot, a back side sunspot. So yeah, the sun is waking up again. And so that is good news. Somebody, please give the sun its coffee. This is a pretty cool looking coronal mass ejection. I like to call them solar birds sometimes when they look like a bird. This one doesn't necessarily fit that description. Okay. Man, there are always so many proofs of divine architecture out there. You know what I'm talking about? So when I went around the city in Houston, I love you. You know, it seemed like a ghost town. It seemed like, yeah, we're about 30% of our normal, what we normally do. So yeah, it's going to take a while for Earth and America and Houston to get back to normal. Hopefully we'll be a lot closer by July 4th. Shell Winkley. Yep, Tuesday night, which is tonight, and pre-sunrise Wednesday, storm potential 2 to 5 risk now in place for those along the east of the Navasota River. Concerns 12 a.m., 5 a.m. Wednesday, hail. And the sky's been dropping a lot of hellacious hail bits, damaging wind, and tornadoes possible. So we're talking, you know, into Houston, College Station, Livingston, Crockett, everybody in South Texas, although Houston's just out of it, but this area, pay attention. Yeah, people in the Northeast are pretty excited about the snow and wind chances around the 16th or 17th, which is one of those dates that I pointed out to look for maximum WTF. This is crappy Erisness. Thank you, BG Brady. Man, people in the Northeast sure love their snow, but definitely around the 16th or 17th, we are on the lookout this coming weekend for some wild weather in multiple spots. Like I said, this Aries seasonal last week is going to have everybody just fighting and duking it out, but I'm going to do what I can to try and feel like the coolest guy on the planet and then not engage with anybody, because us fighting with each other really isn't getting us anywhere good. So yeah, here, Brady's got that 17th storm. Look at that thing, dude. It's beautiful, and it's in its majesty of wrapped up velocity wind danger, and then it'll have snow with it. So just a beautiful piece of energy around the 17th. So yeah, warning flags are out. Popocatépetl, it's a volcano. But yes, as I drove around last night for like 3 hours, I was just happy to be driving, man. And the city's beautiful. It did definitely have a dystopian feel to it. Speaking of dystopian feels, Japan approves releasing the Fukushima water into the ocean. Okay. Anyway, 10 days away from my 7-year anniversary as your planetary defense commander, civilization has not collapsed. But I probably shouldn't get my hopes up for any special rewards, gifts, or celebrations, or, you know, going on a date with one of my crushes or whatever. Because, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just not a lot of rewards out there for good guys. Although I'm very appreciative of Asteroid Fight Club. You guys are amazing. But the dicks who always push for divide and conquer and then try and rule out anyone who isn't in their hive mind seem to be getting stronger every day. Anyway, don't lose hope. Stay cool. God bless everyone. Talk to y'all soon. Peace out.